Good evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is your Shut the Fuck Up. You know, I wasn't planning on making a video tonight, but as it turns out, once again, a prime member of the GOP has inspired me to do this. And that person would be Lady Lindsey Graham. I find almost nobody quite as irritating as he is. You know, when he's not in the public eye, I can almost forget about him. But as soon as he opens his big fat lie hole, he sets me off. So let's talk about what the problem is today. And the problem isn't what he's talking about. It's not the subject matter itself. It's the bullshit that he uses when he describes conservatives. So the backstory is somebody got pissed off that Chick-fil-A isn't open on Sundays. Now, personally, I think all retail establishments should go back to being closed on Sundays. I don't think we need 7 days of capitalism. I really don't. And, you know, I choose not to go to stores on Sundays. I refuse to go into stores on any Sunday, anywhere, at any time. But that being said, Lindsey Graham is defending Chick-fil-A, of course. But this is what he's using to defend them. Are you ready? Quote, the bottom line is conservatives are tolerant. We are kind of get out of your business. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. End quote. Really? Lindsey, seriously, shut the fuck up, okay? Okay, conservatives are tolerant. Where do you want to start with that one? Conservatives spent years denying LGBTQ people their civil rights. Conservatives gave millions of dollars to the conservative entities that were trying to block gay marriage. They're not tolerant. That's a lie, okay? People like Matthew Shepard didn't lose his life because conservatives are tolerant. In fact, he lost his life because conservatives are the exact opposite of tolerant. When conservatives step in and step on parents' toes and take the right to determine their child's health care without government interference, that's not tolerance. Telling a parent that they can't be supportive of their child's transitioning because they could be held liable criminally for child abuse, that's not tolerance. Banning books is not showing tolerance. Overturning Roe v. Wade is not showing tolerance. Going after women's contraception is not showing tolerance. Going after a kid's right to play sports based on gender identity is not tolerance. And the GOP doesn't give a fat rat's ass about women in sports either. Because conservatives spend an awful lot of time denigrating the women who play sports, as we have seen with Brittany Griner and Simone Biles, by the way. So please, shut the fuck up, Lindsey, because that's a bunch of shit. Conservatives are tolerant. You stay out of my business and I'll stay out of yours. Really? Is that right? I don't know. For a person who's staying out of somebody's business, for a community of people that's staying out of somebody's business, you're sure enough spending time in people's bedrooms dictating and determining what they can do and what they cannot do. You're certainly putting enough women at risk. Like the woman in Texas who had a health concern during her pregnancy, carrying a non-viable child, which would potentially render her sterile and unable to have other children. She already had two. She wanted a big family. It's the exact opposite of what they're bitching about. They're bitching about white people not making enough babies. We have a woman who wanted to make more babies than two. And she had to go to another goddamn state to get an abortion, so she could have a right to have a big family if that's what she wanted. That's real tolerance in my book. You know, let's call this for what it is. The conservatives are fucking liars. They're not tolerant. They're hateful. They're bigots. They're racists. And yes, I'm generalizing. And I will continue to do so until the mouthpieces that speak for the conservatives actually tell the truth. Conservatives, on the whole, are not tolerant. So don't sell that shit. After all the damage these people have done since Donald Trump took office to begin with in 2016, is not what I would call tolerant on any level. If the conservatives were tolerant, Lady Lindsey could come out of the closet and live his life comfortably, couldn't he? He's probably going to die in that closet. He's 68 years old now. So don't sell me the shit the conservatives are tolerant. They're not, and they're not Christian either. So let's not even go there. They bow down to the orange jackaloon who's on his grand retribution tour. He's not tolerant. They're not tolerant. That's a bunch of shit. Lindsey Graham's a liar. Let's call this for what it is, and he can shut the fuck up. I'll talk to you all later.